Good morning, Flosstube friends. My name is Darlene. I am Darlene Dion Designs here on Flosstube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. And on Flosstube, I added on stitching in this stitching on the range because I live in a little community that has range in the name. I live in Nova Scotia on Canada's East Coast, and we're having a little hail here this morning, very tiny little hail. It's very windy. It's supposed to gradually get colder all day. It's about 4 degrees Celsius here right now, which is really not too cold. We've had some colder days and a lot of rain and wind lately. A little bit of snow. Nothing drastic. A lot of black ice. I've had some evenings and mornings that there was quite a bit of black ice, so have to be careful, cautious. Anyway, part of winter life. I'm so happy to be back and to share my cross stitch and a little bit of quilting with you. Today I have a couple of FFOs, some finishes, some previous finishes, some whips, a couple little purchases, and a couple quilting things. And a winner. I was a winner, and I have a winner for you guys today too. I'll start out with me being the winner. I got in on the contest for White House Stitchery as she has reached 3,000 followers, and so she did a giveaway of any of the PDF patterns from her Etsy shop, and I was one of the winners for that, so that was very exciting. Thank you, Heather. So I went to her Etsy shop, and she has several new Christmas designs out just in the last couple of weeks, which they're all really cute. And I chose Sweet Christmas, which is this one. Isn't it cute? Love the mugs. Love these mugs. So those little gingerbread and the mugs. Yeah, I don't know if I'll have time to stitch it this year, but it will definitely go in my list of to-do things. And that was very exciting. My first cross-stitch win in social media. And for my own giveaway, that was for having reached 500 followers. Yep, 500 followers. And my prize is a project bag, which when my winner contacts me, she can choose from what I have on hand, and if I don't have anything ready right then, I'll whip something up. And I did a random word generator. You had to use the word Flosstube. Thank you so much to so many people who commented and left me your opinion about what makes for a good Flosstube. And most of the comments that you gave were things that definitely I agree with, and the same things that I think make for a floss tube that I would go back to time and time again. So my winner, I used the random word generator, and my winner is Linda Huson, or Huson. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I may be murdering that, but anyway, Linda Huson. If you can contact me, you can message me on Instagram, you can message me on Facebook, and I will put my email address below. And to those that contacted me from my last giveaway, I think everything has gone out for those that have contacted me. So anyway, everything should be good there. Speaking of Flosstube that I've been watching, I wanted to mention a few. Flossmas has started, and someday I would really love to be able to do that. I don't think I have enough to generate 24 days of interest right now, but maybe someday I will. But Mama Loves You GB, she has got that going on. Oh my, she's just great. And she's got 2 advent calendars that she's sharing this year. One is from a cross stitch needlework shop. Can't remember what it's called. Patchwork Rabbit maybe. And another one is a beauty advent calendar. That's pretty nice. So there are so many different types of advent gifts going these days. I saw one that was all different types of rum. I've seen, of course, coffee and chocolate. My sister and I decided after watching, I went back and watched all of Mama Loves You GB Michelle's past videos this past year. And after I watched her Flossmas from last year, I decided, or I asked my sister if she would be interested in doing a advent calendar for me, and I would do one for her of floss. So we have that started. Well, I shouldn't say we have it started. We were late getting started. I got we're using envelopes, red envelopes, green envelopes. So we've got them. I finished them up yesterday, took them to her last night, and she needs to fill mine, and I have hers filled. And so she's got hers and partially, and she's going to fill mine, and I'm probably going to pick up some of them tonight. And then we'll do 2 or 3 days that we've missed all on the day that we start. So I will share my floss with you as I open them. We don't have access locally to any fancy flosses. Michael's here is about an hour and a half away. So we can get the newer DMC colors there. We can get all of the regular DMCs here. But so yeah, I picked up a few of the variegated DMCs when I was at Michael's the last time, which was probably a month ago. But most of ours will be just regular DMCs, which is fine. We use it all the time regardless. So it's just something fun for us. So Patty, 4 girls and a Newfoundland girl. 4 boys and a Newfoundland girl. Patty from Newfoundland. She's doing Flossmas. She's got fun videos, and she shows some scenery from where she lives there in Newfoundland. Another Canadian Flosstuber that I like to follow. And Off the Grid Needle Arts, I've been watching her Flossmas, all really interesting stuff. And then aside from Flossmas, the Flosstubers that I've been watching, Alba Stitcher, and I see Alba purchased red, Carolyn Manning Designs, red, and she might have said something about me being an enabler. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing Amanda stitch that, and I'm sure it'll be beautiful. Mine, I'm just in love with it. Kim, the Contented Stitcher, I watched her, and Kim and I are going to do a stitch along together in the new year. I'm really excited about that. Haha. one of the designs from Winds of Autumn, Blackbird Designs book. Lovins Stitching. Lovins_Stitching. She was new to me, and I've gone back and watched all of her videos. She is great. Just a young lady, young woman, a young mom with 2 little kids, and she really inspired me to purchase and start some Stitching with the Housewives charge, which she was Priscilla was the first. Priscilla and Chelsea, I should say, was the first Flosstuber I had ever watched, and I've always intended to stitch some of her designs, but just never did until I watched how Lovins Stitching has got all of hers finished, and it just totally inspired me. So I purchased some, and I'll show you those. Made by Michelle McGraw. As always, her stuff is just so totally inspiring, and it just overwhelms me, the amount of stuff she gets done, and and she works. I mean, it's not like she sits home all day. She works out, and she is a go-getter. I'm telling you, she's got some beautiful, beautiful designs that she works. Not her own designs, but the projects that she completes. She is the queen of smalls. I'm telling you, she is the queen of smalls. She's got some beautiful, and her 3 sons are 3 very fortunate boys, because she makes them at least 3 or 4 ornaments every year. And I said to my kids, to my daughter, sorry, got a frog this morning. I said to my daughter this week, my daughter's quite minimalist, and she's a little hard to buy for. She doesn't love stuff. She doesn't love trinkets, and if she does, it's very specific. So I said to her, you know, I'd like to come up with something that I could give you every Christmas that you would treasure forever. And I was thinking ornament or something trinkety. Something, especially something that I could make would be nice. She does like quilts, but I can't give her a full-size quilt every year. I did give her a big quilt, king-size quilt last year. But anyway, I was thinking ornaments. And her tree is pretty much a Charlie Brown tree, which she loves. And it has maybe like 20 ornaments on it. But that's totally her, and that makes her happy, so that's good. So she responded and said, you know, Mom, I'm not into all the stuff like you are. And she said, I know you want me to treasure those things, but she said, just don't. Now she said, Matt, that's her husband, he gave me this pen, and she showed me a picture, this special pen. I don't know what it was, but it's beautiful. It's brass. And she said, he gave me this last year or the year before, and she said, I'll treasure that forever. So you could get me something like that. And I was like, oh, that's not what I meant. But of course she knew that. Anyway, maybe someday I'll find something that I'll just give it to her anyway. Whether I think she'll treasure it. Maybe someday she'll be glad she's got them. Anyway, Michelle, keep up the good work for your boys. It's awesome. And I hope they really, really love it. And Chrissy from Finally a Farm Girl, I watched her. She's always great to watch and always very encouraging and inspiring. Also, I never get this right. Stitch MD, or I should have looked it up, sorry. She is here in Nova Scotia also. And she inspired me to start my first hay design, which is, I'll show you my progress on that in a bit. And she's a beautiful stitcher and knitter, and I really enjoy her Flosstubes. Anyway, so we are 11, almost 12 minutes in, and I haven't even shown you anything yet, so let's get on this. I have a couple of FFOs thanks to Lovins Stitching, and they're not completely FFO'd, but I purchased some of these Housewives charts, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to finish them as cushions, little pillows, or as a flat to put on my tier tray or my tree, and I decided to do the flat. So they are quite thick. I put the actual stitch piece with a piece of batting in there on foam board, and then I used matte board for the fabric that I used for the board on the back. And I haven't done anything to the back yet, but I probably will put a piece of felt and finish them with that on there. I find them thick, thicker. I knew they'd be thick. And so I'm going to find something. There's strings of glue. I'm going to find something that I can, glue around here along the navy. These are navy, by the way, not black, because I had navy in my stash. But I'd like to have something in there, like some cording, or I'm not sure, something just to fill that gap a little bit, because I find they don't lay down as much as I would like for them to against the board. Like my fabric in the Ada cloth is, or I guess it's not Ada, is quite bulky and behind there. So, you know, I kind of like something to put along here that would cover that a little bit. And I'm going to find something to put here. I bought some really cute wooden buttons this week at the dollar store, and I looked high and low for them this morning. Come to find out, they're at my sister's house. We were together there shopping, and they got put in her bag. And so anyway, maybe one of those. They're just really cute little wooden buttons, so maybe one of them will work there. Anyway, I love how they turned out, and I also have the blue truck with the snowman on it chart. I'm ready to do that one. And this is the Priscilla's Pretty Plaids on the back, and I have the Chelsea's checks in blue and gray, and I think I'll use the blue one for the snowman one, the blue truck. Anyway, I love them. I love how they turned out, and I can't wait to see them on display in my house, my home, and my decorations, which I should say are a total disaster. My house is like, looks like a tornado went through. The tree is up. We actually put it up last weekend. My husband got it standing. He always stands it up and puts the lights on. He got the lights on, and the next morning some of the lights were out. And it was like a strand of 100 lights, and half of the lights were out and half the lights were lit. So I called my friend who works in Christmas retail, and she said probably it's just best to get rid of them. So we got rid of them, and he came home with a couple of new strings, and we finally got them on yesterday, I think. But as for any decorations, I haven't touched it yet. Haven't had a chance. So maybe that'll happen over the weekend. So those were my 2 FFOs, recent FFOs. I do want to show you some previous FFOs. These are probably 4 of my most treasured cross-stitch craft sewing projects of all time. I started these, my kids were probably 8 and 10 maybe. They're 32 and 34 now. So, you know, it could have been around 25 years ago. I'm not sure. I do know I have pictures of them sitting in front of them, and they were probably 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that when I took the pictures. So, I don't know which one I did first. I think I did my daughter's. So, her name is Bobby Joe. We've called her BJ most of her life, and she gets BEE. That's what she tagged herself in school. And so the stocking, this is the little girl's room. These were so much fun to stitch. They were just, there's a lot of back stitching, but back then everything had back stitching. They were just a pleasure to stitch. Those 2 little pictures on the wall are over 1, which was the first time I had ever done that. And they were just so much fun to stitch. This is stitched on Lagana, just a beige, I guess, Lagana. My edging at the top here is probably, it probably would be a wise thing for me to take them apart and re-sew them. But anyway, the little nativity on the top there, and just, there's so much detail, just so much. Wow, they were so much fun to stitch. Anyway, I just can't say enough about those patterns. They were, and we hang them every year. I don't fill them anymore because I don't want anything to damage them. Like I just keep them hanging on a pegboard in my living room. And then my son's was next. His name is Keith. He's named after my dad. And at the time, I don't think I had the pattern for the boys' room, and he was really into tools and things like that with my husband. My husband's a carpenter, and I only planned on doing my these stockings for my kids. So I did the workshop for him, and I can remember stitching, and he'd go to bed, and I mean, he was probably, like I said, 10 or 11. He'd go to bed and he'd come and look at what I had done before he went to bed in the evening. And he was so interested in all the different aspects of it, all of the different tools and projects in the stocking. And then in the morning he'd get up and say, "Mom, what did you get done on my stocking?" Oh, it's so sweet. I just loved it. And it's such a sweet memory for me. Anyway, it was just, I spent a lot of really, really wonderful hours making these for our family. Anyway, so that one is Keith's. And then I stitched my own, which it was a sewing room. Had to have the sewing room and the quilt on the wall, and I just fell in love with that. And my name is Darlene up there. And the Singer sewing machine and the quilts on the cabinet. This little sampler is stitched 1/1. So cute. Anyway, whoever designed these, they were in, I can't remember the name, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine, I think. And whoever designed these, they did incredible designing. Anyway, here we have a project in a frame, and the flosses, just so perfect for me. Anyway, I really, really loved stitching that. And then when it came time to stitch my husband's, I was sorry, because he's a carpenter, that I had stitched the workshop for my son. I was like, I should have stitched that for my husband, but it just didn't plan well in advance. And so I stitched like the family room for him, and he loves it. Like, his name is Eugene, call him Gene. And this suits him very nicely. But again, just so much detail and beautiful work. Just the designing is just amazing in these. Anyway, like I said, my one of my most cherished crafts of all time. Really enjoyed stitching them. Someday I may have grandchildren, I may not. We'll see what the Lord has in store for me. If I do, maybe I'll stitch some of them for my grandchildren. I have a previous finish that was previous FFOs. This is one of my own designs that I stitched, I think, during COVID when it first started. A little winter sampler. I'm a winter girl. I love my winter. So this is just a red house. Hard to beat a red house. And so, yeah, that was pretty fun. And like I said about my other designs, I may publish my own design someday. I did download a sample of Max Stitch to see how that worked, and it's a breeze to use. So I see myself in the next little while trying to publish some of my own cross stitch patterns. So we'll see. Definitely, if I do, you'll see them here. Recent finishes. This one, I had it finished for last time and forgot to bring it in here. This is Hello Winter from Plum Street Samplers. This is bigger than I expected. It's stitched on 28 count Heritage Lagana, but it's beautiful. I love how it turned out. The last time I showed it, let me see if I can show you these. These leaves here were filled in with a darker color, and you couldn't see the design in the leaf at all. So maybe with the fancy floss, I did all DMC, you would have been able to see it, but with the called for DMC, you couldn't see it at all. So I decided to leave it blank. I had one leaf that I had not filled in, and I really liked the way that looked, so I decided to take the other stitching out and leave them like that. So I really love this. Sheep, the flowers, the birds. Very pretty. I'm not sure how. I think I'll frame that because it's quite big to be a cushion. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. So I pulled that out, figured it would take me a week or so, and I think I finished it in 2 days. Then my another one that I had ready last time and forgot to bring in was my very first Prairie Schooler Santa. This is the 2021 Santa Winter Woods, which suits me and my family quite well. We live kind of in the woods, or so a lot of people say. I like it that way. I made a couple of changes. I changed the red. She calls for 221, DMC 221, and I changed it to, I think it's 321. I'm not even sure, I'd have to check. And I changed the green to 3345. I changed the color of the fox. The fox is quite brown in the picture, and I wanted it to be a red fox. We had a pet fox when I was a kid. Her name was Abe, and we used to play with her. She was great. Yeah, so I love it, and I have the 2021 ready to start. And this is on 18 count beige Ada. Anyway, they are so pretty. I'm hoping to get that FFO to have on display for Christmas this year. I'd like to do them all. I was going to say, I have this 2021 chart. If anybody has any previous charts that you'd like to trade for the 2021 one, please let me know, because I would be up for trading. And then this was another start and finish that I did this week. Comfort and Joy with the bluebird and the poinsettia. This is in patch, you know, it's that magazine that Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching. That's in the Christmas issue of that this year. And this is Luminous Fiber Arts, Misty from Luminous Fiber Arts design. So pretty. Love it. Anyway, it's kind of blowing out. My fabric is darker. It's coffee tea dyed Monaco, 28 count Monaco, which I have come to enjoy stitching on very much. And then I did another start and finish. This was from an old, I'm going to say 2002, but I might be wrong, issue of Just Cross Stitch Ornament, Just Cross Stitch magazine, the ornaments, Christmas ornaments issue. And it's a prairie schooler design. It had a fence here at the bottom that I didn't put on, and I changed some of the colors, and I put grills in the windows. Anyway, I love it. Really happy with that. So that'll probably be an ornament or go in my tier tray. So that's my finishes. I'll check my notes here. WIPs. I had a new start yesterday. Our Quilting Guild started up again just recently, and for the first time since COVID hit. It actually started a month ago and I wasn't able to go. But yesterday we had a potluck lunch, which is the first potluck lunch I've been to in almost 2 years, I'm sure, which was so nice. It was so fun. And I took binding. I took some project bags to bind with me, and then I got them done and I started this, which is, this is up. This is a free design from JBW Designs this year. So it has a snowman in here, and I love her designs. So she has it finished as a round. It's kind of like octagon shaped. So I'm not sure if I'll do an actual round or what, but it's fun to stitch. So that's a recent start. And I had progress on my Heaven and Earth design, my Haid, which is Christmas Carol. I'm working up here in the upper left corner. Lots of blue, lots of different shades of blue, a little bit of purple in there, but it's mostly all blue. And I'm anxious to hit another color. That'll be fun. So here we go. We are, and that's upside down. Here we go. I'm gonna tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're pretty close to 4,000 stitches in there, I would say. Yeah. Anyway, it's 25 count easy grid Lugana, and it's very easy stitching. I don't mind it at all. Some nights, I suppose maybe if I'm extra tired or whatever, I use my magnifier, but most nights I don't. I have good light, and I'm enjoying it very much. But like I said, I'm anxious to get to a new color, which it's kind of hard to tell on here, but I think I'm getting close to a color, to another color. This is a WIP that I would really like to get finished for this year. It was a freebie from Whilst Iris Naps, Christina. I started it in the summer and I haven't had a chance to get back to it. And she finished it as a drum, and when I started it, I was planning to do it as a flat finish, but the more I think about it, or actually a pillow, the more I think about it, I think I might try a drum. I've never done one, and I kind of would like to at least say I've done one. We'll see. So I love it. It's got All Is Calm on there. So, and then a few purchases, like I had told you earlier. I purchased the blue truck from Stitching with the Housewives, and they had a sale this week, Cyber Monday, and I've been wanting, oh, lost it. Been wanting to do the Fraser Fur one. Love that. And the Silent Night one. That's one of my favorites. It's all blowing out. Anyway. And again, thank you to Lovins Stitching for inspiring me to start some of them. Love them. A couple of other things I purchased. I was at the dollar store here, Dollarama, and I was looking for things that I could use for finishes, and I came home with this little tin, little cream colored tin, and it's like a utensil cutlery container, but I figured I would put a finish on this side and then put some greens and whatnot in here. I thought it was cute, and that was $4. And then this just little flat for a flat finish, and that was $1.50. It's like, you know, pressed wood. And then I thought this was so cute. This was $2. I thought I would paint it black. It has these it has clothesline on there, but I think I'll take them off. And I actually think I will put my piece all the way out here. So really all you'll see is the bottom and the top and the bottom filigree work. But I'm not sure. That's what I'm leaning towards doing, is covering this part with my design. So anyway, but for $2, it's wood, and yeah, I thought that would be cute. Quilting, I'm gonna move the camera, and I'll try to do it very slowly so you don't get, but I mean, you know I'm doing it. So I want to show you this quilt, and this I thought was probably the best way to show it. This is a quilt that I made 2020. It is, I had a friend challenge me to make myself a Christmas quilt, because that is something I had never done. And it was about the first part of the year, and she said, and you need to have it done for next Christmas. So I decided to do that. I started one, and then I seen this one, and I was like, oh, I need to make that quilt. This one was one that I had seen on someone's Instagram, Rhonda Stockton, I think. And it was a Temecula quilt shop pattern, which I just absolutely loved. She did 3-inch blocks. I increased mine to 4-inch. And she had a different, I put a different block in the center. I'm going to move you again. I used a Lone Star, a Lone Star block for the center. A Radiant Star block. You still can't see it great. Oh, that's better. Anyway, it was a lot of fun to make, and I had it quilted the last part of November a year ago, and I keep it on my quilt. It's not a huge quilt, but it's not just a throw size. It's bigger than a throw, so it's a beautiful quilt. I love it. And so I've been wanting to show you that one. And then I've made and listed a few project bags in my Etsy shop over the last few days. This one has been sold, but I did want to show it because I have 4 or 5 more with the same fabric line. This is Merry and Bright by me and my sister Designs. And yeah, it's fun. And then this is just one I had in my stash to put on the back, which I don't have more of. But anyway, if you're interested, I will have some more of these in the shop probably later next week. And this is one, I think I showed it to you in progress, and it's still not bound. I just finished putting it together yesterday. After I got it done, it's pretty, you'll see here I have one block going the wrong way. I don't know, I did cut off a few points, and I don't know if I should sell it or if I should keep it. Because of this error here, and I cut off some points because it was just off cuts. Nothing was cut specifically, and I just whipped up the HSTs, and then I said, oh, I'm gonna make a project bag out of them. So I don't know, I might keep it or I might list it. We'll see. It's a little bigger than what I usually make, but it's pretty. I think it's pretty, but like I said, I may keep it. So I think that's me for today. Just let me check my notes again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I know I've watched some more Flosstubers, but I didn't list them all. But yeah, TV during the day when I'm home, if the TV's on, it's Flosstube. Anyway, I hope you all have a great week. I know that it's a busy time of year. We're getting ready for Christmas, and I have quite a bit of shopping left to do. I don't have anything wrapped. I don't have very few trimmings out. So, you know, I've got things to do, that's for sure. COVID is definitely still around. My friend, I think I mentioned last time that I had a friend in hospital. She has recovered and is at home. She has to take it easy, and she's very weak still. But we are so very pleased that she's recovered and doing better. An answered prayer there for sure. And for all of you who are struggling in any way, I hope that you find what you need. And COVID is, with this new variant, it's hard to say what's going to come. I hope that we don't end up right back at square one, but nobody is saying that we're not for sure. So we'll see. In the next few days, we should have some answers, I would think, about how the contagions are for that and how the vaccines are going to work with it. So hopefully it's not as bad as what we fear it could be. And I wish you all, I wish you all peace and happiness in the next few weeks. I know it's a busy time, and we get caught up in the commercialism and the busyness. And my daughter, I seen her post. She did a post one day this week on her Instagram. She's a graphic designer, and she had sat down and sketched, and I know I can't quote it directly, but it was something to the effect that if the devil can't make you sin, he'll make you busy. So just please try to be peaceful and relaxed and enjoy this time. It's supposed to be a time of peace and pleasure, and not all busy. We don't need that. We're busy enough. Anyway, wishing you all the best, and I will see you, I hope, at least once more before Christmas. So until then, bye.